this podcast on the Super Spaghetti Bros Podcast Network. I'm Mike, and with me as always is my brother, Jason. Hello, Jason.
Hi.
Jason has promised me he's not going to crash out this episode.
I won't.
He won't crash out. It's been a minute since we recorded. We missed last week. You know, some stuff came out. Life, right? Life finds a way.
Yeah.
And before that, we had recorded 2 episodes in 1 week because I was going to be busy with my job. So it's been a while since we've recorded, Jason. A lot has changed in the world. At the end of the last episode, we talked about going to see Minecraft, and you said chicken jockey, but like we thought it was funny. How quickly life has changed, right? Because now, like...
no, I still think the chicken jockey thing's funny.
I still think Jack Black going, chicken jockey, is funny. I don't think it's funny that people are going to theaters and causing riots in the theater because chicken jockey... Like, it made it cringe to me, you know what I mean?
It's just like the referential humor when you bring it into real life and into other people's lives, it's just always been cringe.
Yeah.
Like, whether it's the, like, pulling up to McDonald's and being like,
just
you know
why
I'm here.
It's
right? Like, those are so cringe. The only one that wasn't, like, it was still cringe, but at least it wasn't like you were affecting, like, other workers or whatever. Like people at their job was, like, the Grimace shit where, like, people would just, like, pour that shit all over them in their, like, bathtub or some shit and act like they were, like, fucking like dying.
The Grimace thing was funny. What's crazy about that whole chicken jockey thing though is that like Minecraft, because of that, started to do well in the box office, right?
Yeah.
And so now what's gonna happen is movie studios are going to try and recreate that inorganically. Yeah. And they're not going to be able to, but you're going to see it, right? You're going to see it. It's like the same thing they did with, like, Morbius when they were like, everybody loves Morbin. We're going to bring it back to theaters. And then no one saw it, right?
It's Morbin time.
Right? So that's going to be cringe as shit when that starts happening. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be Jack Black related. It's going to be Jack Black in the Mario movie, and he's going to be, he's Bowser, and he's going to, like, turn to the screen and say, like, Koopa Poopa or something, and then people are gonna no one came to the theater and shouted when he said Koopa Poopa, like it's gonna be so stupid. Anyway, so yeah, a lot's changed. This is episode 6, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that, but we still have not seen the Minecraft movie. I don't know if I'm going to at this point.
Yeah,
maybe when it's on like streaming or something.
Right.
But I know some people actually asked me about that. Did you guys see when I was streaming? Did you guys see the Minecraft movie? And you said you were going to, and I was like, yeah, no.
Life happens.
Yeah, unfortunately. We got a jam-packed show.
I didn't get to jockey my chicken in the theater.
I didn't get to flint my steel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't get to. Oh, I actually have a funny story about this for you. So, our sister Jasmine has been working at my job. And she's been answering phones, right? And we have this new system that's basically a digital voicemail system. So you have to like have headphones connected to the computer, and then you can like answer calls from it too, right? It's basically a digital phone service. And so I can't always tell when someone's on the phone because they don't just have a phone up to their ear, right? And her and I were talking about the Minecraft movie and how people were freaking out over the chicken jockey and the I am Steve, like that.
Yeah.
And I walked out of the office for a second, and I walked back in, and I just, like, as loud as I possibly can, go, I am Steve. And she's, like, sitting down in a chair, and she kind of looks up at me, and she goes, I'm sorry, could you say that again? Because she was on the phone with somebody, and I interrupted her by saying, I am Steve. And I was like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry.
No.
And she was like, it's okay. And now we laugh about it all the time, but... yeah, it was pretty embarrassing for me.
Steve.
I am Steve.
Well, she could just like blame it on like a customer.
Yeah, it was a kid. He was a kid in there, and he was there for his chicken jockey moment.
It was his birthday. She was just really excited for his Minecraft birthday.
I love that, like, when they announced he was going to be Steve in Minecraft, that like there was all these memes about I am breaking blocks and shit, like that stuff. And that's basically what it was, right?
Yeah.
Like
it's just exactly what you thought it was gonna be.
Right. Like
I feel like there's a kind of charm to like being unapologetically that though,
Yeah, here's the thing. Like I know that it's easy to like turn on Jack Black because he's in fucking everything, and like he's Claptrap, and he's doing all the. It's like the Chris Pratt effect, right? But it's like it's not his fault that these studios want to write him a check to do this shit,
right?
Well, and
I
mean it is,
I don't know.
But like
I haven't seen Borderlands, but like, would I assume that like Jack Black like phoned it in? No, I don't think so. I would assume he did it to his best of his abilities. Like
he's a gamer.
If the writing's bad, it's bad. Like
he's playing Bellatro.
Yeah.
Bellatro. No, yeah. I mean, he was good in Mario movie.
Yeah.
And that's why they hire him though, because like the Peaches thing was a thing, right?
Right.
So they're like, oh, this guy, whether he's not phoning it in, but he's definitely not. He's not like doing this wide range of acting, right? But he's
not breaking the mold. Yeah.
He creates viral moments, and we'll actually talk about that later when we get to one of our topics is viral moments here. But before we get into it. We don't want to bury the lead here, Jay. Today, Bethesda did it. The long rumored Oblivion
Cinema
remaster, I put in quotes, was announced and released today for $50.
That's a freaking bargain, dude.
It looks good.
Yeah.
It looks updated. I'd say it's a
looks
remake.
Visually pleasing.
I'd say it's a remake, not a remaster, honestly.
Yeah.
The way it looks.
Yeah, like the combat is different.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, because I'm not super, to be honest, I'm not familiar with Oblivion. I think I stole Jameson's copy of it a long time ago, and I still have it, and then barely played it. The only memories I have of it are, the beginning when you're in the jail and Patrick Stewart comes in there. And then one of my buddies, he was like, hey, you want to see this trick to get to the end of the game? And, like, there's this spot in the first city. I think the story ends in the first city, in this tower, right? And he showed me this glitch where you could stick spoons in the wall to scale the tower, and then you can go into the top, and then that's where the last cutscene is. And so then I think I have the trophy for beating the game, and I've played less than 10 minutes of it. So that's all I really know about Oblivion.
That's the quality Bethesda jank,
Exactly. I never got into it the same way I did with Skyrim, where I've played Skyrim, hundreds and hundreds of hours.
Yeah,
so, like,
there's certain things about the game that are kind of janky. Like, there's no sprint. You like make a decision on like how you level up based on like what you choose in the beginning, and so like that's kind of clunky too. Like how your stats are.
Mm-hmm.
Like they changed it in the new one. Like you just allocate points every time you level up or whatever. Like to like strength or luck or stuff like that. Yeah, I mean I never played it extensively. I played it at a friend's house because I never owned it myself. There are certain things I always thought was cool about it, and when you hear like certain like name drops of some like Elder Scrolls shit, like, oh yeah, okay, I'm familiar with that place or that event or whatever, because they'll reference them in the different games.
I guess. Do you know what they changed about it? Because you said the combat's different. Like, what's different from like vanilla Oblivion?
Well, as far as I know, it's more like, like,
did they Skyrimify it? I guess is what I'm asking.
Well, it's like Skyrimified, but I guess like a bit more difficult is what I'm hearing. So people are saying it's kind of more like a Soulsy in that way, right? Like, if you took, well, I mean, like, so instead in Skyrim, you can just like slash, right? Over and over.
Right.
And then you'd use stamina for heavies. As far as I understand it, it's like any hit is stamina. So it's like Soulsy in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And you have your 3 different like HP, mana, stamina bars at all times on screen. And it's not in the like center, left, and right kind of way that Skyrim is. Like it's just all in a row. But yeah, I mean, I haven't really like looked a ton into the game because I want to play it.
Yeah.
So I haven't like watched like a ton of gameplay or whatever. But as far as like what I've read and what I've heard, it's just they updated all the like textures and stuff with the original and did a bunch of. I assume they probably used AI, but I don't think they said that they used AI. But like for better mouth tracking stuff with all the dialogue. Added a ton more dialogue and like new voice actors because like you know how it is even in Skyrim, like you'll know like, oh, there's like 4 different characters that have the exact same voice actor and he's doing pretty much the exact same voice, right?
Yeah.
And so they did a little bit more, and like even in the OG, like there would be like what are they called? Like an Argonian, like the lizard people. But it would just be like a Nord guy's voice. So it would just be kind of weird in that way. But I guess so they went through and made it a lot more immersive in that way. All the DLC is in the game at the start and you don't have to like pay for it. Except for like cosmetics or whatever. I think you still have to pay for those.
Yeah, well,
the goated
armor.
Horse armor. Yeah, I think you still have to pay for that.
Quick side tangent. The Breath of the Wild DLC is not included in the Switch 2 version of Breath of the Wild.
No way, bro.
100%, it's not.
Are they just like trying to farm L's at Nintendo, bro?
I don't know. And that's
is there
when
some
I
kind
heard
of like
that,
L coin that's like gonna be on the rise that they're investing in, bro? What is happening at
I
Nintendo?
don't know. When I heard that Oblivion was including the DLC, because I read that, right? I was like, holy shit. And it's $50.
Yeah. It
Like,
just makes them look so fucking greedy, dude.
Huge.
Oh my god.
If Todd Howard isn't out greeting you, what are you doing? You know?
You're right.
Like, what's happening here? If Todd Howard himself isn't out greeting you, Nintendo, what are you doing?
I think the only thing as far like what I've seen from like community sentiment that people are disappointed with like right off the gate is that because it's in Unreal Engine 5, it's not like easily like moddable.
Yeah, I think I read a headline. I just saw the headline, but it said no mods are even allowed on it.
Yeah, I don't know how that exactly works. Like maybe you just literally can't.
Yeah, I think
but
I read
don't
the
know.
headline.
Maybe like way down the line, but I don't know.
Yeah. I've seen mostly positive sentiment about this, and I think it's a win for Bethesda. They needed a win too. You know what I mean?
For real.
Starfield did not do well. Fallout 76, you know.
Nope.
And I think they had a third-party studio help them with this, right?
It's like a Virtuo or something like that.
And you would think that the next step would be, hey guys, here's Fallout 3 remastered, right? You think that would be the next step for it? You know, is just to continue.
Well, people have rumored that.
Right. Well, then you continue to climb that stair again, and then you're like, oh, Skyrim's back, baby. Let's release it on everything
eventually.
Again. You know what
40th
I mean?
anniversary edition.
Skyrim and Fallout 4, here we go, you know, but hopefully
dude, I need the New
Scrolls...
Vegas one in my veins.
Oh,
like I definitely play Fallout 3, but yeah, let me get a New Vegas remastered.
Oh, here's what you do. You ready for this? You ready for this, Jay? $1 million idea. Todd, I know you're listening at home. You're a big fan of the show. You can steal this idea. You don't have to give me it. Just give me a free copy of it. You do Fallout 3 / New Vegas in a bundle.
Ooh.
And then I'll pay $80 for that.
Right.
You know? I'll pay $80. That's 2 games, $40 a piece.
Or you say 50 individually for each, or $80 for both.
Get the bundle.
But people think that Fallout 3 is the next one that they're gonna do in this exact same way.
It would make sense.
And then that it will drop around the same time as season 2 of the show.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say some shit like season 2 of Fallout 76. I was like,
they've been on season 1 this past 5 years or whatever it's been. 8 years.
Guys,
I don't even remember how long it's been.
Don't worry. Fallout 3 is coming, and we have a vinyl sack for the pre-order.
Oh, shit.
It's back. It's back.
You get 500 atoms in the Atom Shop.
See, that's the thing.
You can buy nothing. There's nothing 500 atoms.
This is what video game companies are getting wrong, and I think Bethesda's maybe learned the lesson here, or at least it seems like they have, is it's like, I feel like most studios these days would do this, but they'd be like, hey, there's some like kind of gross monetization as a part of it now, or there's some, you know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
That's what this. It's a games as a service now. I don't know how that would work with specifically this, but you get what I mean. Like, there's not some like slimy like, hey, we're trying to force something on you attached to it. It's just this is a update / remake of a game that's beloved. It's only $50. It's gonna sell a shit ton of copies, and people are happy with it. You know what I mean? Like, wow.
Yeah.
It's just a win. Just do it, you know? But it's not... I don't think you can do this with every game, though. Like, I
For sure.
I know there was pushback on the Last of Us bundle that was announced. And I think that's, like, fine. But, like, the amount that those games have been, like, re-released is crazy. Skyrim has been re-released way too many times at this point, right? So I don't know that you want to do this with every game, but if you have a beloved classic that's not easy to play anymore, like Oblivion...
Exactly, yeah.
Like, do it.
If it's something that actually genuinely deserves a remaster, like, I think it's so ridiculous that it's, like, a full resell of, like, The Last of Us, and, like, you look at the old graphics, and you're like, this does not look that old.
Yeah,
like,
well, see, I think if they had just done this without as many, like, re-releases of that, it would have been fine, because to me, it's, like, no different than, like, the Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5, right? It's just it's just like a different SKU they're sending out there on the next console, right? But because they leading into that, they did so much re-releasing of those 2 games. That's why it left a sour taste in people's mouth. But
yeah,
but it's also aligned with the show, season 2 of the show coming out, right? So it's like,
yeah,
I get it.
No, but I think it does show that these games that are beloved, that are harder to play, or just really, really, really show their age and some of the clunkiness or whatever. If you give it a good remake, if it genuinely was a good game, like, it will still hold up as a good game. And like,
and they also didn't
imagine that.
Like, well, this is what Capcom's been doing to Resident Evil forever now. You know what I mean? Like, it's been working well for them. They're already up to Resident Evil 4 doing this. And they didn't also do this thing where they're like, yeah, this is a remake, but the story's a little different, guys, because it's you know, they didn't do the Final Fantasy bullshit thing.
It's for modern audiences now.
Yeah.
It's like, bruh,
just remake the game.
We're killing fucking dragons and shit in this fucking game, bro. What do you mean modern?
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm hesitant to check it out.
Gates of Oblivion.
I'm hesitant to check it out because I've tried to play this game and I didn't get into it before. You know what I mean? I didn't try to play it till after I'd already played Skyrim, though, to be fair. And so I think that was tougher to go back to because they had obviously... I mean, there's a reason
it's like
Skyrim...
that and Morrowind. Right. I don't know. Morrowind has like a certain level of like old jankiness that I kind of vibe with, though.
Right. There's a reason that like Skyrim did so well is because they took a game that people liked and made it more accessible to everybody, right?
Right.
Like they found whatever the loop was and made it really, really good, you know. And maybe some of the stuff they did to Oblivion would spark my interest, but I'm not sure. I kind of want to see. So if you play it, let me know what you think of it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
We'll jump into a different topic here that is related somewhat because I've seen some weird discourse on the internet about this. But as you're watching this, Expedition 33 Clair Obscur is out. It came out Thursday. I'm probably streaming it at some point right now, depending on when you're watching this podcast at twitch.tv/SuperSpikeGhetti So go check that out. But I've seen people go, man, it's really crazy that Xbox put all this marketing into Expedition 33 and then Shadow dropped Oblivion 3 days before it came out. They're hurting the sales. It's like, these are, while they are both RPGs, they're, I don't think anybody's like, well, not playing Clair Obscur now because I'm playing Oblivion. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that this is a deal that people...
I guess for, like, the people who are just like, whatever the newest game is, let me just pick it up. Like the normies, right. Sure, but...
Or like video game journalists, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, who
They're
does
not
that?
Paying for that shit, bro.
Who plays...
It's access journalism.
Like, I am very excited for Clair Obscur, right? And to be fair, I don't have a lot of fondness for Oblivion because I've never really played it, but like, say it was like, Skyrim is a bad example because they've re-released it a million times. Say it was Fallout 3. I really like Fallout 3. It's a game I played a lot of back in the day. I'm not just going to go, well, I was going to play Clair Obscur, but now Fallout 3 came out, and so I'm not going to play it anymore. You know, like, that just doesn't make sense.
Well, it's not being marketed as like yo, this is like a full AAA game. You know, it's like $50, you know? Right. So
I just think that's a very strange discourse
really see it.
That I've seen.
Yeah.
Like, what?
If it was like a brand new game, a brand new IP, they're shadow dropping it and now doing all this marketing or whatever on it now. Sure, kinda. I guess I can understand it. But like, I feel like that's definitely just people like, I really like this game and I really want it to do good. And so anything that is not on my side, specifically, exclusively, you're against me. It's not that it can be in its own bubble. Like, no, you're gonna ruin my game.
You're against.
Like, okay, bro, but like the game's gonna already be out. Like 3 days later, like you're still gonna be able to play the game, and if it's good, it will stand on its own 2 legs.
Right.
If it fails, it's not because of a remaster of Oblivion, bro.
Right. Just weird cringe people being weird and cringe. But anyway, I wanted to just bring that up because I will be streaming that game, and next week I will give. I'm hoping to play a lot of it on Friday, so I'm hoping next week on the podcast I can give you guys how I kind of feel about it and taking a big chunk out of it, taking a big meaty chunk, because that was the game that was on my watch list. I pointed up.
Shit.
I'm probably not going to put the watch list graphic up there. I just...
Watch list.
It's there. It's there. He did it. So, yeah, I just wanted to mention that. So, look forward to next week. If you want to come hang out on stream, twitch.tv/SuperSpikeGhetti. I'll be playing it. It'll be a good time. Speaking of games I'm playing, Jason, while we were off duty, I guess I want to say, the poll for the game in 2024 that Mike missed resolved. And despite the fact that literally days before Unicorn Overlord was winning, days before the deadline, a couple assholes on Spotify came in and voted for Stellar Blade in the final hour.
Spotifyers.
And so,
you know what? It's probably people who also voted in the Discord, and they got double votes.
I had that thought. That Orpheus Joshua voted twice.
Go.
Egg of Dog and Orpheus Joshua. That's who I'm blaming. The 2 most degenerate Stellar Blade fans I know.
Yeah.
So I started playing Stellar Blade, Jason.
Oh, shit?
Do you want to hear what I think about it?
Yeah.
So I've played about 6 hours of Stellar Blade.
Okay. Gooned for 12. Okay.
Yeah, I was I was tearing at my penis for about 4 of those hours. No, that's not true. I'm torn on it.
Mm.
I'm mostly enjoying my time with it.
Okay.
I'll tell you, I think the story is nonsensical. It reminds me a lot of Nier Automata in that way, where it's from what I've gotten the story so far, and I'm sure like Egg is going to be in the comments going, actually, it's this. But from what I've gotten, Eve, the character you play as, is a some sort of organic robot, right? And Earth or whatever planet it is, I don't think it's Earth. I think it's supposed to be Earth, maybe, but far in the future. But there's supposedly no one living because there's these monsters roaming the Earth, and these scantily clad women soldiers get sent down to Earth to try and eliminate these monsters and take like the cores of their energy for reasons.
So it's a lot like Nier.
It's a lot like Nier. It's very much like Nier. You go down there with a whole battalion and they all get wiped out pretty much, and you're on your own, and you meet an actual human. And then he joins you on missions by piloting a little drone guy, and he's like, it's like the typical Navi thing, right? He's like, hey, look at this over here. Da, da, da. But
listen.
Or our favorite game, Forspoken, right? The dude in the ring.
Can't forget about Cuff, dude.
Cuff. And or I guess he was in a cuff, not a ring. That's why his name's Cuff. In a similar...
yes, I shall name you Ring. I'm a cuff, bro.
Necklace. In a similar way, I don't remember the guy's name now. I'm very skeptical of this robot man, or this drone man. I'm very skeptical.
You gotta blame Cuff, dude.
But the story, I'm not really vibing with it so far. I just saved another robot girl, and she's gonna be like my engineer, and so I'm like building a team, but I'm not quite sure what our goal is. Like, the game hasn't been very clear about a lot of it, I feel like. Yeah. To be fair, when I played the intro, it was like 2 a.m, and I started falling asleep. And it wasn't because of the game. It was because I was very tired. You know what I mean? So it's possible they told me some of this information, and I was like, you know, but
not even the gooning could keep him up, dude.
Not
I'm
even
lucky.
the gooning. Gameplay-wise, this is where I'm torn. The story, whatever, it is what it is. This is where I'm torn because basically it's, an action game, right? And similar to a Devil May Cry, but not quite. I always use Devil May Cry as an example, but Devil May Cry is so flashy that it doesn't always, like, this isn't as flashy as DMC. But like, I imagine Wukong to be, Bayonetta, which is also a little flashy. But it's like an action game in that mold. You do travel through levels, and they're mostly linear, but there are like side paths to find a treasure, and then you come back, right?
Right.
And then you do like have these camps you go to, and when you rest at these camps, some of the enemies respawn. So there's a little bit of Soulsy in it. Okay, which is like most games these days do that.
Right.
The moment-to-moment combat with mobs, I don't enjoy very much. I think they do that thing where they purposely make mobs annoying, and you have to use certain strategies to defeat them.
Right.
That I don't super like. But when I get to a boss fight, which I've done probably 4 or 5 of them, those are highly enjoyable. It reminds me of, in a lot of ways, of doing limit cut fights. Not as difficult as that, obviously, because it's just like a game. But there is a move where, like, the enemies telegraph their moves. They flash a certain color, and that tells you, like, hey, this move you can't block. This move you can only dodge. This move... you unlock this ability, which is, I don't remember what it's called in Kingdom Hearts 3, but you hit circle, and you...
Oh, like the risk dodges?
Risk dodge, yes, thank you. It's literally risk dodge. And so when they flash a certain color, you have to hit forward and circle, and she will teleport behind them to open them up for an attack. There's another one where if they flash purple, you hit back and circle, and she does like a counter, right? And so
that's kind of cool.
The boss fights are fun. They don't feel spongy at all. They feel like, hey, you're doing damage, but it's also difficult.
Right.
And so I enjoy that. I'm looking at it. There's 3 parts of the game. There's, the story cutscenes. There's the traversal / combat with the mobs. And then there's the boss fights. And I only like 1/3 of the game. I only really like one. Because the cutscenes are whatever. And then the platforming's really, they do some light platforming and it's really bad. She has the Final Fantasy 15 problem where you're trying to activate the door and then she keeps like stepping 2 feet too far from the door. So you're just constantly like moving her so she can activate the door. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like when Noctis, you try to like
you're
pick
not
up a coin or something.
Exact right angle.
Exactly. She like, you'll just touch the stick and instead of taking a step, she'll like 3 steps. And it bothers me. And then the platforming is really weird. Like, they'll ask you to do some jumping, and her jumps she goes high, but not very far. And then if you hit the dodge button, she's supposed to like kind of push forward, but that's also very weak and not what you expect it to be. Like as far as like distance traveled, and she floats very slowly down. And so
it's a floaty.
Yeah, it's floaty. I'll say it. So, I think the sexualization of it all, I went into it knowing about that, so it hasn't been as striking to me. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, you're just kind of like,
because you hear about it and you're expecting almost a porn game at that point, the way people talk about it, and it's not that egregious. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like she jiggles at points where it's like, okay, she was not supposed to, like, people don't.
It's just
jiggle.
some anime shit.
People don't jiggle when you do that, right?
Yeah.
So like, there's some of that.
Specific body parts. They don't jiggle like
there's
that.
light RPG elements where she has a skill tree, right? And then there's different like augments you can give her because she's a robot. And then there's one part of it that's just like, hey, if you find enough of these ingredients or whatever, these materials, you can make her a new outfit. But the outfits don't, as far as I've seen, provide any gameplay value. It's just, how much can you see of her, right?
Okay.
Because like her initial outfit is just like kind of this skin tight green, like what you see in the trailers. It like covers her whole body, right? Whatever. But then I immediately had unlocked this kind of like evening gowny skirts kind of business where the skirt flips up when she moves. You know? And so I, of course, equipped that right away.
Gooned immediately.
I immediately gooned. No, I haven't gooned once to this game. It's not goonable to me. It's kind of, it's like if you were gooning to this game, it's like baby's first gooner. You know what I mean? Like it's not like, it's like,
it's not freaky enough for you.
It's not freaky enough. Yeah, I mean, the last episode I talked about Honey Pop. You know what I mean? Like I need something a little freakier than this for me to goon. You know?
Yeah.
So. OJ and Egg
also
really
the monsters
kind
of take you out of it, you know.
Yeah, the monsters aren't hot. Like they're not like tentacle monsters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They're not hot monsters. They're really gross actually.
Like
really like there was one that like he looked like a Monster Hunter like monster. But he like had a vagina face.
Ooh.
And then you kill him when you kill him.
It's
like
not freaky enough for
the death animations of the bosses are really cool. Like it gets real violent. Like she like sliced his vagina face open, so he like fell in half, kind of. And so I do enjoy that. I think that's cool. Like I said, the bosses are the best part of the game, and it makes me wonder if I would enjoy Wukong more because, from what I understand, that's way more of a boss rush.
Yeah.
There's definitely, as
far as I understand,
there's definitely pathways connecting it like this, but they're shorter and not as involved, where this is a little longer between bosses, from what I've heard. I don't know that to be true. But yeah, so that's kind of my first impressions. I'm going to keep playing it. I told you guys I'd keep playing it, so I'm going to. And I'm not, like, not enjoying myself. Like, the boss battles are good enough to float the other parts that I don't like as much. And continue to play
like,
it.
Would you say it's like a 7 or like a 8? So far,
somewhere between 6 and 8, yeah.
6 and 8.
Yeah.
I think it's fair.
Yeah. So I know Egg is like fucking mauling right now, pounding his desk. You know, but
and something else, yeah.
Yeah, I think the game's merely okay to good right now. But we'll see. Maybe I'm missing something, or maybe it's just not for me. That's possible too. Or
right.
Maybe it's just a mid game. I don't know. Jury's out. That's why I'm going to play more.
Right. We'll see.
But not at the expense of Expedition 33. I will tell you that right now.
Right.
But I will play more. I think Sean's asked me if I was going to stream it, and I don't think so.
Stellar Blade?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of just want to play it when I have time to play it.
Right.
And if I stream something, I feel like I can only play it on stream.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. Also, like, I feel like sometimes when I want to stream, I want it to be a game that's easily streamable, you know? Like, I don't have to be locked the fuck in.
Right.
You know? Whereas, like, that's either annoying enemies that you have to kill very specifically or a boss. So you'd have to be locked in.
But also, like, yes, I don't want to play a game where I have to be locked in, but also I don't want to not give respect to someone's game they really love. If you get what I mean.
Like, just like shit on the game the whole stream type shit.
Well, not that, because I don't think I would shit on it, but just like, I don't know,
like, you can be
picking my
hyperbolic
ass while
on
I'm
stream.
playing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not I'm like fucking, just like, you know, just like fucking chilling, like fucking playing
when
this
you get
game.
the random first-time chatter who's backseating, you don't want that, dude?
Oh, dude, don't even get me started on that, dude.
I
was playing Blueprints on
stream. You gotta get up on the Hydra's back.
I was playing
first-time chatter
on stream. And
okay, if they said that, that'd be kind of hype.
Yeah, that would be true if they said that. Instead of, can I give you a hint? As they flounder.
Oh, God. Can I give you a hint? Smile.
And then I said, no hints. And then I asked them a question about something that I was misunderstanding, and they explained it. And then they were like, can I give you one more hint? And I was like, fuck it, fine, I guess. You know? Fucking tell me, I suck at this game. I don't want to talk about Blueprints today, though. I want to play that more before I talk about it on the pod.
I was watching Tyler play that a bit. It looks fun.
See, I just said I didn't want to talk about it, but here's what I'll say. I've heard a lot of rumbling. The reason I played it is because, one, it was on PlayStation Plus, and so I could play it for free.
Right.
And I had heard lots of, this is the game of the year contender. And
I don't know about all that.
Like,
I watched a ton of gameplay of it, but I don't know about all that.
I understand why people like it. I don't know that I like it. But jury's out for me still. But it has to do some amazing things. I just feel like it hasn't clicked for me yet. Because, like, Alan texted me and was like, hey, how are you liking Blueprints? And I was like, honestly, I feel like there's way too much RNG for me to enjoy it. Like, I feel like I'm making zero progress. I literally just did a 6-hour stream where I feel like nothing happened except me get frustrated. And he was like, oh, yeah, it just hasn't clicked for you yet. So I'm, like, waiting for this, like, eureka moment playing it. And I just think maybe I'm too fucking stupid to find it, you know?
Yeah, but, I mean, from what I've seen, I don't know, maybe...
Okay, here's what...
I was going to say, like, it doesn't look like it has a ton of replayability, but, like...
Here's what bothers me about it, Jay. Is you go into the parlor, okay? It's one of the... for anybody who doesn't know what this game is the game is you have inherited this mansion from your uncle if you can get to the 46th room in the mansion that no one has ever been in. And so you open a door, and when you open a door, the game will give you one of 3 blueprints to place in that room. And each blueprint has different entrances and exits, and you're trying to piece together on this grid the mansion to make it to the 46th room. But it's not just as easy as reaching the room. You have to, like, solve puzzles and stuff. So each room will have a similar puzzle in it every time. So, for example, the parlor. The parlor will have 3 boxes in it. One of the boxes has gems in it for you. Gems are how you open up other rooms. Each box will have a label on it. And the rules of the parlor are, okay, one of these boxes every time is telling the truth. One of these boxes is lying. And one of these boxes has gems in it. Those are the 3 rules of it, right? So it will say the black box has the gems. The white box has the gems. The blue box is lying, like something like that, right? And then you solve it, you get the gems, boom, you move on to the next room.
Right.
There's another room, the billiard room, where it has this dartboard puzzle that you use equations. So you do
math,
right? Those puzzles never they get harder, but they're the same puzzle. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
So when I first started playing the game, I was like, "Oh, cool! There's going to be all these puzzle rooms." No, you're solving
once
the same
you figure
puzzles
out that
over and over.
room,
Once you figure out that room,
you know
just
that
have to
room.
do it over and over again because you need the keys or you need the gems in order to progress. So I'm just doing the same puzzles over and over again, and then you get to the end of your run and you figured nothing out, and you just got to redo it again. That's what I don't like about it. And I've seen and heard that there's more to it than that, but I just haven't been able to find it. And I keep going on Reddit and see people saying stuff like, "Oh yeah, it clicks for me on day 30. It clicks for me on day 64. It clicked for me." And so I'm sitting there like, "Okay, I'm on like day 20 something."
This is some like sunk cost fallacy shit, bro.
It truly is.
Like, there are certain things that I've seen that are cool, that are like, upgrades that you keep throughout your like rest of your runs and stuff.
Right.
And like those moments, I feel like could definitely be cool. I feel like, yeah, the replayability of it seems kind of meh. And then, like, even if, like, right? Like, oh, great. Like, I got red is subtraction, green is addition, or, like, whatever it is, right? Like, I think the idea of it's kind of like escape roomy, but, like, you're going deeper in a way. I think, to me, once the novelty wore off, and it wore off pretty quick to me, I wasn't even really playing it. I was just watching Tyler play it. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm good. Personally, like, and I definitely think it's kind of like when you figure out things yourself, and there's like, oh, if I put the date in on this, then it gets this, or there's like the picture frames or whatever, and like, oh, this and that, and like, it's like a thing that you can figure out yourself that feels like satisfying and like makes you feel smart, Right. I can understand that, but like once you get it, you got it, and now you're just arbitrarily having to do it again. Like,
I feel like I'm being gaslit by this game. Because like I when I play it and I see all these other people like talk about it, I go, "What's wrong with me? How come I don't like it? How come I'm not good at it?" Right? And I'm like, so I feel like I have to keep playing it. I feel like I have to keep playing it until what's supposed to clicks, and then I will decide, okay, this game isn't that great, or oh, I get it. I think I have to. I know it's a sunk cost fallacy, but I think I have to keep pushing forward and doing it.
Yeah. Well, also, like, I feel like with puzzle games, like, certain things that, like, oh, this puzzle might be really easy for you, but I just, like, never could figure it out, so, like, I really hated this part of this puzzle or whatever. I feel like it's really hard to talk about whether or not something has, like, good game design in, like, a puzzle standpoint, because it's just, like, oh, you just didn't think to do this or
it's
whatever,
very personal, right?
Yeah, so, and I feel like when there's a game that's like this, it kind of feels like, oh, I get it, so like, I'm one of the cool kids, like that's kind of the vibe. One of the cool kids. That's kind of the vibe I get.
It's some preferred whale ass shit, all right? That's what it is.
Okay, but she's like a Giga 10 head.
Well, right,
Doctor.
She's a genius. So of course she's gonna get it. But the moment it was funny. The first night I played it, Dave was in the chat, and I said that this is some preferred whale ass shit, and Dave thought that was real funny. But yeah, so I didn't want to talk about Blueprint State because it pisses me off, but here we are. I'll update you guys more when I play more of it, and I'll let you know if it clicks or not. But I definitely
I like the name of it though. It's kind of quirky, funny, because it's blue, like the color, and Prince, like the son of a king, Prince.
But it's blueprints
but then you
that
use
you're laying down.
Blueprints.
It reminds me of that Animaniacs joke. You know what Animaniacs joke?
Fingerprints?
Yeah, fingerprints. No, I don't think so.
That's a goated joke.
It is. So, Jay, WrestleMania happened last weekend, and we got to watch night 2 together. You and Zay watched night 1, I think, for the most part. I watched some of night 1. And I don't want to go over the whole card because I think we'd be here for another hour. But I want to talk about some things we liked and some things we didn't like about it. So I'll start with something I really liked, and I really liked the women's triple threat match on night 2 that opened the show. That was maybe one of the best WrestleMania openers of all time. Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley just tore it down. It was a great match. Io got the win, which I was excited about. And I thought that was a really good match. And probably the highlight of night 2, besides Stone Cold Steve Austin running his fucking 4-wheeler into the fucking thing.
And possibly getting somebody WrestleMania tickets for life.
Did you see, I sent you that thing, he missed the ramp, because I remember we were sitting there and it was playing his music for a long time, and we were like, the fuck's taking him so long? And it's because he missed the ramp. Brother had too many Steve Weisers.
He must have been hammered, dude.
He had too many Steve Weisers before. He shouldn't have been driving that thing.
Think about how drunk you have to be to fuck up that bad.
Oh.
But then he was feeling himself because he was doing laps around the ring.
Yeah, he was having
and
a
then
good
just
time.
a crash at the end. Oh my God, bro.
And then he drank another 4 Steve Weisers. And they didn't let him drive it back up, that's for sure. The literal Nick Khan.
You could tell he wanted to get out of there so bad when he was walking back up. He did not really stop and thank you guys, kind of thing. He just stomped his way up.
There was a shot of him
ramp.
walking up the ramp, and he kind of starts smiling and laughing to himself, and he's like, I fucked up.
yeah, exactly. You can see it in his eyes, dude.
The literal president of the WWE, Nick Khan, was down there talking to that lady that fell down. But she flopped, brother. That was a flop. That was some of the best selling I've seen all night, dude.
Props to her, dude.
Yeah, dude.
That's exactly. I was literally making jokes.
My ass is in the neck brace, bro, and I'm like,
I had already been making jokes about that from the first night when there was the triple threat with Rollins, Roman, and CM Punk, because Roman jumped out. They Rollins and CM Punk fought and did this big U
throughout
shape
the crowd,
throughout the crowd. And as they're coming back at the end of the U, Roman dives out there into the crowd, into the crowd. And I was like, oh my God, if I was right there, dude, I'm falling over and holding my neck, bro. I'm like,
Roman fell into me.
I need WrestleMania tickets for life.
Front row, please. Yeah. What's a match you liked, or what's something you liked about WrestleMania, Jay?
I'll just say that same triple threat match, both the triple threats in this WrestleMania were bangers.
Yeah,
bro.
I think the first night main event, Punk, Reigns, and Rollins was really good. And I think the opener the next night was really good. I think there were some other good matches, but I do think this was a pretty disappointing WrestleMania overall.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
No, I would definitely agree. I thought the Jey Uso one was all right.
That was fine. It's cool that he won, right?
I was glad. Yeah, I was glad that he won.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty entertaining, but the match itself was kind of meh.
Yeah.
And I just kind of felt that way about most of them, but I still like, the pomp and circumstance or whatever the fuck.
For sure.
of
for
WrestleMania. Sure.
Yeah, our sister watched with us, and she is not a wrestling fan, and she was like, "This is just like Drag Race."
Right.
This is like
right.
RuPaul's Drag
I was sad
like,
she watched day 2 because I think day 1 was so much better.
Yeah. But I think she had a good time, actually. I kind of talked her into watching it with us, and she had a good time.
Yeah.
And we had a good time because we like hanging out and doing that kind of shit. But like,
right. Just making jokes.
Compared to the previous WrestleMania, it was definitely way worse.
Yeah.
My biggest gripe, I think, the AJ Styles Logan Paul match was so disappointing, dude.
Yeah. Because that one was bad. Straight up bad.
Because, like, okay, I hate Logan Paul as a person.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's begrudgingly a very entertaining wrestler most of the time.
Right. He actually hits his spots, hits them well, and are, like, pretty impressive athletically.
Right. And then you throw in AJ Styles, who's one of the most athletic, exciting wrestlers of all time, and you go, this is going to be good. And it just was a stinker, man. It was just not good.
The spots weren't, like, well thought out, really.
No. It was just it was kind of like an old school match where, like, the face gets beat down by the heel the whole time. But I just, like, that. Why are you having Logan Paul do that? That's not what he does well.
Right.
The women's tag team match was a joke. Just not great.
Yeah.
I thought the Joe Hendry Randy Orton thing was fun, but like and good for Joe Hendry, you know.
It's just kind of funny and like you laugh, you know.
They kept it the right length, I think.
And you're like, oh, RKO, you know.
Yeah. And doing the
they just pressed the fun button like twice within like 5 minutes.
Well, and it's fun that one of the reasons the RKO is so over as a maneuver is that they always find new and unique ways to use it.
Yeah.
Whether it's like the Evan Bourne shooting star press into it, or Seth Rollins trying to do the curb stomp and getting launched way up in the air and getting hit with it. That was like WrestleMania 32 or something.
Right.
But the Joe Hendry like doing the turn to the camera and the zoom in like it does for him, and then Randy coming off screen and hitting him with it was pretty good.
Yeah, that was good.
But so there are some disappointing matches. The most disappointing match to me was Cody Rhodes and John Cena, and the match itself was fine.
It didn't feel like a main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah, it felt like the main event of like Backlash or like, you know what I mean? It was fine.
Well, and it just is so heavy-handed, bro. Like I love John Cena. Like I think he was like a workhorse for so long, and I like that what he stood for the longest time, just being like that pure baby face for the kids, right? Mm-hmm. And then this heel turn is just feels so heavy-handed. Like, well, Cena always wanted to do this, so we're gotta do it now. Like, that's kind of how it feels.
I don't mind the heel turn. I think the heel turn works better when you give him a microphone. He was on Pat McAfee the next day and really cooked. Like they were he had this whole long monologue about how he got bullied into getting hair implants by the crowd and was like blaming them. You know what I mean? Like when you give him a mic, he can cook. And like the next night on Raw, he cooked. But he's, the match itself was fine. Cuz I don't think either of those guys are like the flashiest guy in the world, right? They're not like Cody's big thing since his comeback has been he's the underdog, and so he gets the shit beat out of him, and then against all odds, like either perseveres or puts up a good fight or whatever, right? And John Cena's always been like the Superman, but he has there was some weird psychology with it where the crowd was kind of weird because they were booing Cody because they wanted to see John win, even though he's the bad guy.
To break the record, yeah.
And then they did this thing where John was going to do his, like, 5 moves of doom, ending with the 5-knuckle shuffle, and I thought he's the heel, so he's gonna pretend to do it and then not do it, right? Because that's how you get people to boo you. But instead, they had Cody stop him, and then Cody got booed even more because people wanted to see it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know they went in knowing that there's a possibility that Cody could get booed because that happened on the SmackDown the night before. But it's like, you got to adjust for that. You can't,
Yeah.
If the people want to see the bad guy do something, don't let him do it. Like, make the bad guy be the one that goes, I'm not doing that. I'm not. Right. You guys paid to see me do the 5-knuckle shuffle? I'm not fucking doing that. So that was weird. And then the Travis Scott of it all is absolutely infuriating to me. First of all, I had to hear Fiend.
Where the fuck is The Rock?
Fiend.
Was it The Rock like the focal point of this like turn? With the
Oh yeah. We can get to
where
that.
Where the fuck is The Rock?
We can get to that. So Travis Scott, a rapper, showed up when Cody got turned on by John Cena. He was there with The Rock. He came out with The Rock. And he came out another time. He like smoked a blunt next to Jey Uso when Jey Uso made his entrance some other time. And they've been using Fiend, I don't know why, for so much. And so he's like they play his song in the Cody John Cena match during a point where both men are down, and he comes out, takes his time to just, walk as slowly as possible down to the ring because he's just incredibly more important.
He's doing his own like
else.
Royal Rumble entrance kind of shit.
And he comes down and distracts Cody. Cody hits him with the crossroads, and that gives Cena what he needs to beat Cody, right? And I'm all for they talk about this a lot with like Logan Paul or Bad Bunny, where they're like, hey, they really love the business and they work super hard to train so they can be the best they can be. This isn't like the celebrities of yesteryear where it's just like they throw a guy in a ring who's kind of athletic and go good luck, like Mr. T, you know what I mean?
Right.
But this guy is like 120 pounds.
Right.
Okay. He's like the smallest. To me, it's like when they had Drew Carey enter the Royal Rumble. If Drew Carey got, like Shawn Michaels eliminated from the Royal Rumble by distracting him. It's like this guy's just supremely unathletic. Okay. Yeah. And has no business. I don't care how popular he is. He has no business being involved in the main event of WrestleMania for anything other than just a guy that's there. That if they just had him, if The Rock came out with him and he just came out and stood there like he did the last time, whatever, it's gonna get.
Or was
clicks.
Even just kind of a part of it, sure. Right. Like hands the belt to Cena or something.
But being the reason that Cody got distracted and Cena won. Like, I just can't. And I read this tweet that Triple H said after WrestleMania 41, Travis Scott told me this is his full-time job now. God, I hope not.
Yeah.
I fucking hope not. Is he going to train? Or are you just going to fucking parade him out every time to cause distraction? The first time he came out, he hit Cody legitimately. Cody's laying on the mat, and he hit him legitimately in the head and caused this giant black eye for Cody. Yeah. Because he doesn't know what he's doing. Get him out of the ring. I'm all for...
I don't know what dirt he has on, like, the WWE or some shit.
I got sent a meme.
How do you get into the main event of the entire year?
Because he's popular. I got sent a meme that it was like, the dude was like, it was Travis Scott coming down, and the dude was like, yo, they should have played the Undertaker's music for all those people that died at his music festival or
right,
some shit.
Bro.
I was like, what the fuck?
Astro World, bro.
Astro World. Here's the thing, man. Like, I'm all for, I hate Logan Paul. I said that already.
Yeah.
But he's put in work to be a good professional wrestler.
Right.
I'm indifferent on Bad Bunny. Like, as far as music goes, like, whatever.
Right.
Or acting or whatever. But he's a hell of a wrestler when he gets out there. And has put in the work. This guy, I just can't. I can't. And it's because they're all about creating viral moments, not about, like they want there to be that thing that people talk about the next day.
Well, I don't even feel like he's really like Travis Scott is like popular and like Fiend is popular, but like the part of the song that's popular for Fiend isn't even fucking Travis Scott. It's Playboi Carti. Like the Fiend part is Playboi Carti. Also, like if you want to talk about like relevant and like viral and like somebody who also has like shown at least some level of athleticism, just have it be I Show Speed or some shit, bro. Like like come on, bro. Like
I mean, I don't particularly like him, but at least
he's more
like,
relevant.
At least he's athletic, and at least he like
his job is to clip farm.
Right. Well, and he went out there at the Royal Rumble and knew that Braun Breaker was absolutely going to destroy him, and he did it, and he took it like a champ, dude. You know, like, good for him. You know, I don't particularly like the guy, but like, hey, great, right? I just don't understand the Travis Scott part of it, and like I think they asked Triple H at the press conference afterwards, and he was like, "Oh, Travis Scott just loves the business," and it's like, who the fuck cares? A lot of people love the business. That doesn't mean you could put him in your fucking main event.
Right.
Like, I love the business. Trot my ass out there. You know, like, what are we talking about here?
Right.
Like, they've come so far in the celebrity wrestling thing where they're getting people like Stephen Amell when him and Stardust teamed up. Like, Stephen Amell could wrestle.
Yeah, he was very athletic.
You know? Even like Floyd Mayweather when they did the boxing match with the Big Show years and years ago. That was well done, dude. Like, because Floyd Mayweather understood. But just getting a guy who's popular and
and like Stephen Amell is literally at ringside. You have like 5 or 6 UFC fighters that they showed. Like,
right.
There's so many other talented people you could have do this.
Right, but they want to because The Rock likes Travis Scott, I guess. And speaking of The Rock, he went on Pat McAfee today, dude, because everybody's buzzing about like what happened to The Rock, and he basically just threw everything under the bus and was like, "Yeah, you know, Nick Khan called me when or not Nick Khan, the president of TKO, I don't remember his name. So TKO is the company that owns UFC and WWE, and that's the board that Rock's on." And he was like, "Hey, ticket sales for Elimination Chamber aren't great. Can you start getting involved?" Is what The Rock said. So he came up with this, "I'm going to take your soul, Cody Rhodes" thing with no plan to pay that off.
Nice.
John Cena was not supposed to turn at Elimination Chamber. He was supposed to turn at WrestleMania. But they rushed it because they were like, "Oh, let's just do this tonight." And because The Rock's here. But there was never a plan, according to The Rock, for him to be at WrestleMania.
That's fucking ridiculous.
I don't understand what they're doing. I don't get it. And it sucks because wrestling's really hot right now. Right? They're doing well, but
so it just is like completely out of Triple H's hand, and that's why he just has to be like, he just really loves it.
Yeah.
It was the best we could fucking come up with.
I don't know. I don't know about the Travis Scott part of it, I guess. I'm just assuming him and The Rock are tight because that's when he first
I'm just imagining like I'm Triple H in that scenario, right? Where like my boss's boss or whatever is like, "Yo, one of your events is not selling well. Let me get your boss who's like really popular in on it." And then he ruins one of your storylines.
Well, and The Rock even said
you have to like repair it. And then people hate it. And you're just like, fuck me, guys.
The Rock wanted Cody to turn heel, not John. But they vetoed that. Which maybe would have went over more. I don't know. It's just frustrating to watch what's supposed to be your like biggest event of the year, the night where things go crazy, and it ends. You should have put Punk, Roman, and Rollins on the last night because that was a good match. That was
so much better.
That had a good twist, right?
Yeah.
And you know what happened on Raw the next night, Jay? Punk and Roman came down to beat up Rollins, and Braun Breaker saved Rollins, and he's a Heyman guy now too. So they're building a new like group, and right now it's Rollins and Breaker. And so they they had Breaker lose that Intercontinental title, and they're building him up to that main event level, which is great, right? So it's like sucks that half the show was like well developed and had these cool storylines, and the other half is just kind of like, yeah, The Rock had to come in, and we didn't really know what to do, and now Cody doesn't have the title, and John's a bad guy.
The triple threat women's match was good, but yeah, the rest of the day, yeah. So, I liked the I liked the Intercontinental
that was
match,
a good match
as well.
I like that Dom deserved that. That was cool.
Yeah.
I like
it was
the moment
insane
where
that
he
the whole
ran
crowd
back.
is cheering.
He ran back in the ring. That was not planned, obviously. He ran back in the ring because he was just like, holy shit, they're cheering for me, and ran back in and held with the title.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, you couldn't help but smile. Like, even though I'm like not a huge fan of Dominic Mysterio, like I feel like he's just kind of an all right wrestler, right? Like, good on the mic, all right wrestler, right? Kind of thing. And it still made me smile. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not delivering 5-star classics or anything, but he's good at what he does.
Right.
All right, anything else you want to say about WrestleMania, Jay? I know people that don't like wrestling's eyes are glazed over 3 times now, but, there's some people that like talking about it with us.
I just was kind of missing, like, any type of, like, cool, like, return to me, Like, I saw the clip of the Hardy Boys returning.
Yeah.
Just earlier today, and I was like, bro, that was such a cool fucking moment. And like, obviously, like, that is something that like took years and years to like build up and like happens. Like, you can't just farm that every year, right? But like, I don't know, if it was gonna be to this like level of quality, like if it had something like that, I'd probably be more hype, right?
Yeah,
like
Rusev came back on Monday Night Raw.
And then he came back on Raw. I was like, bro, what? Like, cool for Hendry, I guess. And I guess with like the amount of time slot that they had there, like, obviously you don't want like Randy or Rusev to just get fucking stomped or whatever. But
I did read that there were a lot of names pitched to Randy, but he had the final say, and he chose Joe Hendry. Like Jeff Hardy was one of the names.
Damn.
Rusev, obviously. Nick Aldis.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I wouldn't want to have seen like a Rusev or Jeff Hardy just get buried.
Well, because Hardy works for TNA as well.
Okay.
So he's not in the WWE. So it would be another like, hey, someone getting
So
squashed.
he would have had to have RKO'd him out of like a twist of fate or some shit.
Yeah.
That'd have been fucking crazy, But
yeah, no, I thought, I had fun watching it with you guys, but I was pretty disappointed.
Yeah.
And hopefully they do some more interesting stuff soon. As opposed to, let's just bring out, all kinds of rappers to like it. To me, it's like, what's the difference between the Royal Rumble you and I put on and the Royal Rumble that the WWE's put? Like, if Travis Scott's just gonna come out, you know what I mean?
It's like, just like purely like shock factor of like, this person isn't in the WWE. Right. Like, that's like literally all our Rumble is.
Right. It's just like, well, okay. I put a little more
crazy.
thought. I put a little more thought of it into that. Like, I try to come up with, find characters who are related in some way, and then have them hopefully cross paths in the Rumble, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the whole Kanye Cena storyline that I've been cultivating for years, which is. But yeah, might as well bring Kanye out at this point. You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay, we can't talk about Kanye.
Yeah.
Jason, I heard you have a Japanese word of the day for us.
Japanese word of the day. What? We got fucking Japanese word of the day. All right, guys. Today's Japanese word of the day is for when, you're watching, your favorite streamers, maybe you're working, maybe you're like doing some cooking or something.
Mm-hmm. Let them cook.
And, they're just fucking sucking at the game, bro. They're just sucking. Maybe
they're playing like Ice Cream Beat and
maybe like they're playing Ice Cream Beat and just malding for hours, And you're like, wrap it up. You're dragging it, right?
Maybe they have a name that rhymes with Pip.
Maybe
Pip Booborteen.
Yeah. And maybe you just got to give them, like, you haven't been chatting, but, like, they're just doing so bad, you got to come out of lurking just to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Just to enjoy. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is flame. Just to flame their ass.
Enjoy. So, like, how would you use that in a sentence, though? Because you're saying that's to flame?
Well, enjoy suru is to flame.
Okay. So this is just flame.
Flame, yeah.
But not flame like as in an actual flame. It's like to make fun of somebody.
Yes, but also in like the colloquial sense of like you're flaming me.
Okay, so they
it has the same thing as in English.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like online beef,
enjoy.
you'd use enjoy. So yeah, they're sucking that ice cream beef. Enjoy suru their ass. Okay.
Yeah. You gotta flame them. You gotta say it's okay, bud. Some people just aren't good at rhythm games. That's what you gotta say. You know.
True.
All right. Well,
True.
that
was Japanese word of the day.
Japanese word of the day. All right. So last segment. It's time for the question of the week. All right. I think that was long enough. I don't know. This week's question of the week comes from Zach, and he says, "Long-time listener, first-time caller. If one of you died and you had to keep this podcast going by picking a fairly big celebrity, who would it be and why? Who do you think you could effectively bounce off of while doing the show?" So if I die, Jason, and in my last breath, I would tell you, Jason, you have to continue ARP with... No, you're choosing. I would say with a celebrity, and then I die.
Oh, we're not choosing ourselves. We're choosing for the other person. Okay.
No. I died, and you're choosing someone.
But I'm not saying, when I die, you have to do it with this person.
No. I'm just saying a celebrity. That's the pitch.
You're choosing who would replace me. I'm choosing who would replace you.
Yes.
Okay.
Who you would co-host the podcast with.
I'm not going to think really hard on this one. I feel like I already got like a pretty good pull. Especially like when you watch like the bloopers and shit of like Parks and Rec, it's got to be Chris Pratt, bruh.
Wow.
I feel like it would be really funny, especially like him not knowing some of the gamerisms, like maybe in like a Game Grumps kind of way, like Danny, Aaron. Like I would be more of the Aaron at that point, Mm-hmm. But like, he's just a funny guy, Like he just say some crazy shit that you could just farm.
He has some legendary things he said on Parks and Rec that just made people crack, like the comeback story.
Right.
Kim
Kardashian, dude.
Every time I wipe, it's like there's a marker in there.
Like a brown marker.
Like a brown marker. I just wipe and wipe. Still poop. No, that's a good answer. He, despite how the internet's tried to villainize him, I think he seems like a pretty decent dude too.
Right, and like on a podcast too, like podcasts like humanize anybody, bro. Like,
have you seen the clip of him where he knows all of Eminem's verse to "Forgot About Dre"? Like he's on a radio show.
No,
he's like,
no.
Nowadays, everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but then it comes out when you move your lips, and he like knows the whole.
Oh,
he knows,
shit.
Yeah, and he's like
valid, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's an older clip, but it's pretty good. It's you're like, oh shit, he knows the whole thing. Which,
I feel like that's just like a layup,
As
I don't even have to really think about that one.
As a young white guy, I always wished I had the opportunity to do Eminem's verse and Forgot About Dre on a radio show. So like I get it, you know what I mean?
True. It's in our blood.
Yeah. It's truly a young white man thing. It's interesting that you picked you mentioned Parks and Rec, because I actually think my answer comes from Parks and Rec as well, but it's not Chris Pratt. I would like to host the show with Ben Schwartz. Jean-Ralphio.
Okay. That's a W. That's a W.
He's so fucking funny. He's been on Game Grumps a few times on like Guest Grumps, And he likes to
Right.
play the games too. Like he likes to play old like NES games and try to beat them in an hour or whatever.
Right.
But he's just hilarious while he does it. And he's really good at making fun of people around him, but not being mean about it. You know?
Yeah.
And I enjoy that kind of ball busting energy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I want Ben Schwartz to
can
come
get
on
behind
here
a good ball busting.
and bust my balls.
Or in front of.
Yeah, for sure.
No, that's a W pick. That's a W pick, dude. We're just farming Parks and Rec, dude. Holy shit.
Honestly, bring Aziz on here, bro.
No.
Bring Aziz. Let's do it. Let's
Tommy
do it.
Everford.
Let's bring Tommy H on here. Let's do it. Let's bring Nick Offerman.
Yeah.
I don't think he plays video games,
No.
but he was in The Last of Us.
True.
So I can't think of
I
a
can't remember
Parks
his character name, but Billy on the Street, dude. Get him on. What's his Parks
shit,
and Rec
what's
character name?
Billy Eichner's name on that show? Craig.
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 Get Craig on, dude.
Yep. But I'm having a hard time thinking of a Parks and Rec person I wouldn't want to co-host this show with. Give me Jeremy Jam, dude. You just got jammed.
Dude.
We're both wearing kimonos, you know? It'd be great.
Yeah. No, that would be sick. That would be sick.
I'll take I'll take April Ludgate.
Oh no! Don't make me host with Aubrey Plaza. No,
no, that would be so terrible. Oh no. Jerry?
He just calls me a nerd.
Get Jerry
I'm
on
in
here.
love. Now Jerry, I don't know. That's my biggest The Rock eyebrow I'm hitting, dude.
Yeah, you don't want to host with Jerry Gergich
Or Gary.
or Larry.
Yeah.
What a stupid show that is. I love it. But yeah, no, I'm trying to think if I have any other answers that aren't Parks and Rec related.
Jack Black.
Jablonski Games or whatever the
Yeah,
fuck.
dude.
Yeah, I
Jack Blinsky Games. dude.
Jablinski Games, yeah. You know, I'd want to play games with I guess we're not talking about playing like I somehow changed it in my head to like we're doing a Let's Play channel with this person. I think it's
Like
'cause
it's
you
just
brought
like
up Game Grumps.
completely replacing me as a human. you
Yeah,
know, like-
yeah, yeah. We're streaming
like
together.
the podcast and the stream.
I was gonna say Patrick Stump of Fall Boy. I think me and Patrick would get along well.
Okay.
It might be a boring podcast, but like, you know, I think we'd get along well. He seems like
I feel like
dude.
he would talk about things like pretty passionately though.
Yeah.
You know.
If you got him on the right stuff, yeah.
Right.
But I think
And then like if you got him doing that enough, he would like, you know, be pretty inquisitive into what the things you want to talk about, you know?
right. The last one I have, I've been listening to the Lonely Island and Seth Meyers podcast, and it's so funny. And I would like any of the Lonely Island. Seth Meyers can go away, but
Yeah.
I would like any of the Lonely Island guys because I'm a member of the Quaid Army.
Banger.
And if you know, you
That's
know.
a banger.
But there was this. I just have to tell you about this moment in this podcast because it made me. I was like crying, laughing on my way to work. Like I was driving down the S curve, almost crashing because Andy Samberg made me laugh so hard. They're basically what the podcast is they're going through from the start of the Lonely Island's career on SNL till the end, and like each episode of the podcast is they go over an episode where if they have a digital short or if they had a sketch and they talk about that episode and blah blah blah. And they finally got to Jizz in My Pants, and which Jizz in My Pants may be the best. It's a top 3 Lonely Island song. I don't know if it's the best. I think maybe Jack Sparrow's the best, but
yeah.
It has this banger bridge at the end. I just right in my pants every time you're next to me. Like that part. So good.
Yeah.
But they're talking about it. And Andy has this quirk in the podcast where he'll stop like what they're talking about. Because Seth hosts the show, right? And they just kind of goof, the 3 of them. But he'll go, hey, can I ask a question? And it's normally like a very like insightful or like even maybe a little goofy question but it's an actual question, right? It's like,
right.
And he goes, can I ask a question? And they're like, yeah. And he goes, so when you guys jizz, it feels good, right? Just like,
okay.
He's like, right, it feels good, right? Like, it feels good when you jizz. And it made me laugh so fucking hard. Right, fellas? That's right, good. Fellas? Because he does this stupid fucking voice when he was doing it. So I lose my mind. I almost crashed my car. And then later in the show, they're like, you know, they've moved so far on from that, but they're still talking about jizz in my pants. Yeah. He goes, hey, guys, just to reiterate, like, it doesn't feel bad when we jizz, right? Like, that's not something that happens to you guys, right? And it just made me lose my mind again, dude. He's so fucking funny. They're all so funny.
Yeah, I think like anyone from, like in that group, at least how I associate it in my mind, from, like, that, like, SNL group would be really good, too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like Bill Hader. That's a W.
Keenan Thompson, even.
That's a W.
I'd host with Keenan Thompson.
I also think it'd be funny to podcast with any of the boys from Workaholics, like the three main boys.
Yeah, those guys are funny too. Yeah,
that'd work. Yeah. We're fucking hella replaceable, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, honestly, we're shams, dude. We're frauds.
Wrap it up.
At least Zach's question wasn't like the one we had before, where it was like, who would you replace it with that you know? And it's like, oh, Jesus. Oh, scraping the bottom of the barrel here. Is it, what do you want me to say, SP Cat? What do you want me to say? You know?
I'm not saying a certain someone who sucks at fucking rhythm mini games that
Ice
have
cream
3 ducks in it.
You gotta be able to beat Destiny Island on Master mode the first time in order to be a co-host of this podcast.
Yeah. It's a vibe check, dude.
If you can't do that, you're done. Sorry. And I think every celebrity we named could do that, except maybe Jerry.
Yeah. Offerman, maybe not.
Nah, he could probably do it. I have faith in him.
First try?
He might.
Quicker than Pip.
Bean. Pip Port Bean. PIP if you're nasty. Oh boy. All right. Well, hey everybody, that is the end of the episode. If you're any of those celebrities and you're listening and you want to come on the show, let us know.
Who do you want to replace us with?
Yeah. We're hoping, Jay, we do have to talk about, towards the end of the year, you're going to be moving to Japan, and maybe we need to do I had this thought the other day. There's a shower thought.
Hunger Games.
Well, no, that's a way better idea than what I had. All right, scrap my idea. We're doing a Hunger Games. No, we have leading up to you being gone, we have guests on the show to decide who the replacement host is.
I'm just I wouldn't say it like that. You have to do it like this.
You're taking notes and shit.
5 out of 10 joke.
And we just almost like we're I'm going on Tinder dates with them, but you're also there.
Like some speed dating kind of thing.
Yeah. Maybe we get
maybe just regular dating, I guess. Yeah.
Maybe we get people to apply, and then we have them on an episode, and then we go, oh yeah, this went really well, and then we have them log off, and then we shit talk them for the rest of the episode.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
PIP.
The second it drops, we're just now it's just the boys.
Exactly. Pip Pooporpeen gets on, and then
Boo Bun Borp.
We get and we're like, man, that guy was not your replacement. Yeah. I can tell you that.
Oh my god.
Oh, he can't even beat ice cream.
I might have to push my trip back. This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, Jay, I don't think Jay, I hate to say this, but I just don't think you can go to Japan.
I couldn't possibly record from Japan. It'd be impossible.
I just don't think you can go. Yeah, the well has been dried. There's no one.
It's over. It's fucking over.
Yeah, so
Pack
maybe
it up.
we'll do like who's the next host of the ARP? Like we'll do like who shot Mr. Burns on The Simpsons.
Like, guys, roast them in the comments. Roast them in the comments. We're just fucking farming people. Like, the whole Japan trip is just a sham. Just I'm already in Japan. Like, we're still trying to find a fucking a replacement.
I mean, right now you're in the world that never was.
Roast them. Yeah, I could be there right now.
Yeah. Dude, it would be crazy if like if like you had paid like a Japanese guy to just kind of pop on screen right now and just like say something to you and then walk away. That would be so fucking crazy.
Ironitis. No, daijoubu.
Yeah. He just walks away. And I'm just like, who is that? And you're like, nobody. That would be so wild.
That was my other brother.
Yeah, that was my other brother.
Only speaks Japanese.
Very strange. All right. Yeah, so we rambled a little bit longer there, but thank you guys for listening. You can email us at ansemreportpodcast@gmail.com. If you leave a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple, I will personally thank you with the sexual favor of your choice. No rimming. And
it's banned.
Yeah, I don't want to do it. I don't want to eat your butthole. Sorry. Yeah, join the Discord. Join the Discord where I will not give you a sexual favor for joining, but it's a fun place to be.
Yeah.
Go check it out. Also, thank you to our patrons. They're really just giving us money to support us, which is like super cool and nice. I put their names at the end of these videos, but that's about it. So, thank you.
We got some bloopers.
Oh yeah, the there are bloopers from our Reconnect Master of Ceremonies announcement, where we definitely were not sitting on the floor to record.
No, we weren't.
And Jason definitely did not struggle to say the Kingdom Hearts creators that touched you.
And then once I was over it, it definitely didn't take Mike forever to stop laughing, even though I didn't say it anymore. I wasn't even saying it anymore. Just the thought of me saying it. Like, I was saying the line correctly, and it was just still funny.
It was still funny. It's true. That's what happened. But yeah, there's definitely not bloopers of that on our Patreon.
No,
that doesn't exist.
Also, shout out to everybody who's been playing Marvel Strike Force, helping us out.
Yes, I don't know how many days are left when this goes up. Let's see. It says there are 7 days and 1 hour left. So, yeah, you could still play. The link is in the Discord. If you get to every set of levels you get to, we get more money to support. The reason we're doing it is to support our karaoke night that we had last time during Reconnect, and we're doing it again this time in Denver. So,
but bigger, lots bigger, and so we're gonna probably rent out a whole karaoke place this time. And so we're trying to raise money for that, and that's why we're playing mobile games. Mucho dinero. So go check that out if you're like, hey, you know what? I can grind a mobile game for a few hours for these guys to get them some money. It's free. Yeah.
That's why we do it. It's not asking anybody for...
Just make sure you use the link in order to do it, because otherwise I don't want you to like grind the hell out of the game and like think you help us and then it doesn't. That would suck.
Yeah. The only thing we're asking for with that is your time. So if you want to check that out, great. If you don't, that's okay too. But yeah,
no worries.
Jay, I think we discovered what our outro is, didn't we? You suggested it, I think, when we were talking about it in the Discord. Oh, you don't remember? He doesn't remember.
Let me cook. I got nothing. I don't remember.
So I'll do it. I'll do it this time, and then we'll figure out how we want to do it in the future. But everybody, Thank you for watching the ARP. Yeah.